Hi, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Learn by Doing. This is where you're going to learn concepts in a practical way, be able to apply design concept to your business, building the right product in the right time in under 15 minutes. That's the hope, right? Today, I would love to walk you through a part of a workshops that I usually do with all of my clients. It's called the user profile workshop. Now, the purpose of this workshop is, to identify who are the customers we're trying to reach, what are the problems that they have that we're trying to solve, how they're moving through the journey, come up with the features or solutions that we need to build, and at the end, prioritize these solutions so that we know which one to build first, which is always important in a startup world, but also like in any other companies, resources and time are precious. The total of the workshop is long if we run it end to end. So it's about 4 hours, maybe even more, depending on the complexity of the profiles as well as the problems we're trying to solve. So, for the purpose of the 50 minutes increments or less, I'm going to break it down in smaller chunks. So, today, let's explore and focus on the persona mapping. So, I'm sharing my screen here, and what you can see is a little bit of a filled in um, persona exercise. So, this is an example of a persona mapping. What is a persona? A persona is a design term speak for customer profile. It allows us to put down on paper what are some of the characteristic in terms of demographic, right? Allow us to understand who we are reaching, how we should be reaching them, understand the behaviorals, what are the things that they do, again, where and when we can be talking to them, understanding some of the technology piece. So, how should we reach them? How should we speak to them? And then all of those combined with motivations help us to understand what do they care about. So let's pretend like I'm creating a persona, this user customer profile for this Learn by Doing series. I started out by noting out up top a piece of vision and a piece of problem to solve. All of you designers and entrepreneurs out there, you always have a vision, right? This is what I want to do. This series will democratize creative education and help folks achieve independent financial freedom. Wow, cool beans. The second step, a second layers, is to note down on paper what is the problem you're trying to solve for. So for me, as I think about why would somebody need to learn by doing in a very short amount of time and to be able to use them right away, it is because they have very little time, very often less than 15 minutes of their day. They have little knowledge of the design space or some of these tools that might be useful for them that they are able to apply right away to their businesses. And then there's this note around desire to learn AI. And you will see in my workshop that there's a lot of AI concepts because AI has been penetrating our entire world. So why not learn and accelerate the work that we're doing, right? So I have my vision here and I have my problem to solve. I now will go down to the creation of the user profile. Again, this user profile will be really helpful for you to be able to understand the makeup of this customer, to be able to understand what are the habits that they have, the technology that you use, and the reasons behind some of those actions. So, as we start with demographic, um, you'll see that some of these might be loosely aligned with maybe your version or vision of who would be applicable to this service. Some of it might be very concrete from the data that I already have. But as a whole, it's very helpful to just have them all on one page so that you have a place to start, so that as you learn more about your profile, your customer profile with your data, with your interviews, you can come back and review and reiterate upon this profile. So for now, let's pretend that Alex is a design practitioner. He is 24-year-old in Raleigh, North Carolina. He was a career transitioner from sales to design, so he's hungry to learn. He is renting with one other person. So the closer it is to the persona name box, the more fundamental, and the further away, it becomes more expansive. So now we're talking about his parents are living, he has two siblings, he are dating, not married, and no kids. So relationship layers, right? So this is the start. There's always more boxes to fill if you feel like you can explore and dig deeper. For the purpose of this demo, I'm going to keep it short and sweet. The next one, some people actually debate on whether they should go behavioral first or motivation first. The difference here is that behavioral talks about the actions that somebody does, and then the motivation talk about the why and the rationales behind those actions. So behavioral, right? So Alex lived with one other person. He is dating and overall a young professional. He's somewhat social, likes to hang out with a close group of friends. He loves to learn online. Now, this is important for us because we are a learning online platform. And so this person likely would like the Coursera and Udemy of the world. He likes to play small group sport. And then so these pieces are important for someone who has little time, but who loves to learn and apply towards his own business and his own practice, right? Alex works as an early founding designer at a startup, and he's also doing freelance on the side. So for you and your problems that you're trying to map out, who are the people and the behaviors for the problem you're trying to solve? If you don't, put down something and then go ask, right? Go interview, go ask. I've just been in the design world for 20 years, so I know some of the behaviorals there. So let's move to technology, right? So technology is very cut and dry, to be honest. It has to do with what platforms, what machines this person is using. So, as a founding designer working at a startup, career transitioners trying to learn new things, I'd imagine that Alex uses everything. So, he uses MacBook Pro for work, Google Pixel for phone, and using a lot of the Google Suite. And then he's social on YouTube, yay, for us, LinkedIn, and sometimes Twitter. He loves exploring new tech and gadgets, and AI is a big focus at the moment. Again, this starts to narrow down for us who we're targeting and how, where we're targeting them. And so this is a piece that I'm saving for you so that we can do together. So we just talk about Alex being a somewhat young career transitioner working in, as a founding designer at a startup and doing freelances on his side, right? Starting his own thing. And he's pretty technology savvy. So, why is Alex interested in doing all these things? What are the motivations behind his doings? And the rationales that I put down on paper right here has to do with gaining independence and financial freedom, right? So, I've broken it down into a few boxes here: independence, financial freedom, and ownership. So let's see if we can fill down and dig a little bit deeper into why someone like Alex would like to have financial freedom, right? Maybe as a career transitioner, he wants financial freedom so that he can not be rely on market condition, right? He knows what are the changing of the time, and he's been through it, and he wants to be a bit protected and have some cushion there. He starting his own freelancing work might means that he want to save up to eventually, um, open up his own company. He's already working at the startup. And so this closely relate to ownership. This is very typical thinking about somebody who's in his 20s and closer to Gen Z, something about like working on problems that he cares about, and then also maybe making an impact on the world. And then independence here. This can be very related to career transitioner, whether the market and the changing condition, but also being able to explore new fields, new technology, right? Remember, we noted out that Alex really use everything and love exploring new tech and gadgets, and AI is a big focus at the moment, right? He also loves to learn. He works well in a small group. So interesting here. So he works well in a small group, but yet he is independent, right? So something about ability to make an impact with people and conditions within his control. Something about control here, right? Actually, I'm going to put that under ownership. Um, Down here. So as you go through this exercise, you'll start seeing as you have ideas and have to dig deeper into the whys, um, the whys of Alex, you will start seeing some of the reason maybe reflective of your own. We're talking with design practitioners and small business owners here. So try to draw from your own experience as well in order to map this. As I went through this exercise of Alex, the design practitioners, I've come to realize that there is another audience that I would love to talk to that I haven't talked to yet here or mapped out. And that is the entrepreneur, right? The small business owner who can use this design concepts. So I'm going to note it down here, and that will be the next persona that I map out. So I want to pause really quick here and just take a moment to summarize the exercise that we've just went through. Um, right here, we have Alex as a design practitioner. He's the first of the two personas that I wanted to create for our Learn by Doing series. The Learn by Doing series aims to help learners who have very little time and who wants to apply this concept to their business right away. And so Alex is someone in this demographics makeup in his 20s with the behaviorals of loving to learn, live in a somewhat close, small circle, and working as a founding designer and doing freelances on the side. So having the inkling to do his own thing in the future. And then Alex is pretty technology savvy. He's comfortable with most of the tools out there, and he loves exploring new tech and new gadget. And then Alex is craving independence, financial freedom, and ownership. These are some of the reason why relating to his background and where he wants to go. Once you've done this exercise and comfortable with creating maybe two or three personas, next time we meet, let's talk about how they move through the world and what are the problems that they're trying to solve in order to get to what are the solutions, what are either the product or services we can create to solve those unique problems. So that is the exercise that we're going to do next. Okay, I hope that you've had some good reflective moments about who you're serving and begin to put down on paper some of those characteristics. Come back for the follow up of these sessions, which again will dig into the problems and the feature solutions tied to those problems. For more workshops such as this, please subscribe, and we hope to see you again very soon.